Hey, it's Aaron. Today we're going to do a walkthrough in a 2023 Honda HR-V. This car's been interesting because it's kind of a unicorn for me. I've been scheduled in it like 3 different times until before now, over the past year and a half or so since it came out, and it finally came to my driveway. Spent the week in it more or less now, and I've got a few things to say, but for this, let's walk through the interior and look at what comes with this particular package, which I don't think I have a Monroney for. I'll look though. I think I do. Maybe I do. Anyway, yeah, let's check it out.
This episode brought to you by coffee.
I do have a Monroney. I'll put it on the screen later, and I won't go over it. You can just look at it, pause it, and look at it and see what it says. But it is the EXL model with all-wheel drive. So let's get started. We'll go to the usual spot first. So we start over here on the left-hand driver door. Here's the door handle. This is a physical lock, right? I like those when they're in cars. They're starting to disappear. Down here you have your windows, so rear windows, front windows, window lock right there, and then you have door locks, the electronic ones, and then this is your side mirror adjustment. These side mirrors do not fold in, but otherwise they are adjustable. Up here's your traction control button, and then some empty stuff, and I have no idea what you put in here. The key fob sort of fits in there, but it's going to fall out as soon as you move the car. So I don't know what that's for. And then down there you can just see the hood latch release right next to my taco socks. Anyway, when I first got in this, because of that pedal, the way it kind of looks from the side over there, I thought this was a 3-pedal car, and I got a little bit excited. But, you know, then I was disappointed. So over here on the steering wheel, we'll start on the left side here. This is mostly infotainment stuff. So you can see track skipping up here, volume up and down with that. Home button, which is actually for the driver information screen. I'll show you that in a minute. This goes up and down that screen. This is voice activation. It's okay in this. It's still the old prompt, wait for an answer, prompt, wait for an answer, not understand you right, tell you it can't do anything, start all over. You know, those systems are starting to fade away, but this is still one of them. Over here is mostly adaptive cruise control stuff. So here is the turn the cruise on and off. Here's cancel it. You can see the reset and set, and resume, and set. And then following distances here. Lane keeping is right here. This isn't really lane keeping so much as it is lane beeping. So whenever you look like you're going to cross a line, it'll beep at you. It's pretty much what it does. Then we look at the dongles. Up here, you've got your washer wipers, etc. So to run the rear, so you can pull it forward and that will squirt the front. But to squirt the rear, you have to twist the knob down so it's that one. Which is weird because I'm used to like pushing it back on most vehicles, but on this one you don't do that. You can pull it forward to squirt the front, but you have to twist it to squirt the back. Otherwise, you can see your aggressiveness settings, I guess, right here, and so on. Pretty simple. You get used to that after a while. And then here's the stitching on the steering wheel. It looks really weird from here. It looks like really aggressive open wound kind of stitching. Over here is the lighting dongle, so up and down for signal turns, and then you can see it's on auto right now. You can turn them off like that, and then the rest of them are obvious, and back and forth for your brights. Then we get to the instrument cluster. Pretty simple cluster. It is entirely virtual or electronic, so that means no glare, which is good. It also means that it is a little bit configurable, not too much though. So you can see on the left right here underneath the tachometer that there is a menu screen. That's because I pushed that driver information screen home button earlier. So you can go up and down and choose something. So most of these are settings for the car, and I've kind of been just, some of these are useful, some of these, this is an interesting one, even though yeah, it's a pretty simple all-wheel drive system. It's mainly made for bad weather, so don't expect to be doing any off-road beastly stuff. And there you go, you can go through and you can see all kinds of stuff. So this is where you would change what's on the information displays here. So if you push that little round button, now I can go through and I can change stuff and good to go, right? So there you go. That's the menu over there. Then you can see in the middle, this is the digital speedometer and dial speedometer, and then down here you have your gearing and so forth. You have some emergency lights that are over here. Fuel is down there on the bottom. So that's pretty much the display. You won't see a whole lot of other stuff. That little green car down here, so there's the clock, the little green car down here, that's your radars. So if I were to somehow find the button that turns the radars off, so yeah, turning off the radars in this is really a pain, and yeah, it will pitch a fit in the car wash. It's not as bad as some when you do have it neutral and it's the automated car wash and you put it in neutral. It will turn most of that off, but you're still gonna get, yeah, it's annoying. Means you can't turn it off in a drive-through. You can't turn it off when you pull into a tight parking space and you're trying to back out and it's yelling at you as you're backing up because there's a car in front of you, like that matters, that sort of thing. You're just gonna have to live with those annoyances, but anyway, back to it. All right, so after that we get to the infotainment. So this screen is pretty straightforward. Let's go to the home. Did I push it? Yeah, there we go. Anyway, pretty straightforward screen, nothing really special on this infotainment. These are fairly easy to read. If it looks familiar, this has been in Honda for quite a while, and a very similar system has been in Nissan, and a lot of these systems from the previous decade have kind of taken on the same look. Mostly because they're getting the screens and stuff probably from the same suppliers. So you have, this is, you can see basically what it does. Move it over, go to the next screen, and so on. Honda Link is useful if you have the setup. This particular car is pretty limited as to what it can do, but if you go up the trim levels, you can add more stuff to what that app will allow you to do. And then that's pretty much it. Audio in here is pretty good. It's not the best, but it's not terrible. This does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and so on. Trip computer is probably your most useful thing on here outside of navigation and phone stuff, because the trip computer allows you to sort of, well, I'll just show you. It allows you to, so you can read your trips and stuff, but you can compare more than just a couple of trips to get MPGs and other averages. So you could, if you want, you could figure out, like, what do you actually spend to drive to and from work every day? What do you spend for that weekend road trip to grandma's once a month? Any of that kind of stuff. You can do all that in here. It's kind of neat. So anyway, that's pretty much infotainment. Now going down, here's the Dukes lights for when you got hazards. And some of the vents. The vents look really cool in here. They don't actually go all the way across, just this trim piece does. But the vents look really cool, but for the most part, they're pretty standard function. Move it back and forth like this, up and down like that. Totally close it by going all the way over like that. They're not terribly aggressive, but the heating and cooling in here is more than adequate for the size of the car. Over here you got bun warmers. There's another one for the passenger over there. And then mostly HVAC stuff. So you see, I have it turned off. You push that button to do that. I can turn it back on like that. It's on auto. Everything is set, right? You have your defrosts right here, and that's pretty much it. Most of the time, you're probably going to set a temp and leave it on auto. You can sync right here, or you can do dual. It's a dual zone. Down there, you got a USB-A port. You got a wireless charger. Couple of drink holders. They're pretty far forward, so you're going to have to get used to that if you're used to having them back here somewhere. But I actually like this placement, so but I'm big and tall. Here's the shifter. As you can see, there is no option for manual control. That's because you don't have any gears. This is a continuously variable transmission in this thing, which means it's anemic. Yeah, it's the best way to describe the drive quality of this car. Going past that shifter, you can see here's your drive mode selector. There's only 3 in this. There's economy, snow, and normal, and it beeps at you whenever you change them. That way, if the passenger fiddles around with it, you can tell. Hill descent right here, which I mean it's kind of useful, I guess. I don't know. Parking brake, pull to set, push to release. Brake hold, that's your launch control. It's actually for starting out on a hill, but And then down here you have another USB and a pocket right here. This is a great spot for a phone or a MP3 player or the passenger's phone, something like that. There's another USB on this side, so pretty cool there. Then you have down here, it's a pretty good sized bin actually. It goes pretty deep. It's a decent sized bin. Then, as far as the interior design, you can, if I can get my finger out of the way, you can kind of see it's it's black on black, which I hate, but this looks really cool. This is all soft right here. This is hard plastic. This is hard plastic. This is not the quietest vehicle on the road when you're driving down the highway, but you can see the doors, hard plastic, soft. That's the basics there. The seats are pretty good. I really do like the seats in this. Pretty adjustable, and the bolstering is just about right. So then going into the back seat, the seats are pretty good. The middle is still a chump seat. Nobody wants to be there, but otherwise pretty good back seat and a decent cargo space. So not huge, but not tiny either. It's accommodating. It works. So, yeah. That's pretty much what I got for the interior walkthrough here. Most of this stuff is standard equipment. There are a couple of things that were part of the EXL package, but for the most part, this is pretty standard equipment. So, there you go. That's the interior walkthrough for the 2023 Honda HRV or HVR. HRV. I think it's HRV. Yeah. I miss the days when cars just had names. So much easier. Anyway, this is a basic entry-level car, and I think they did a half-decent job. So, there you go. This has been Aaron. Talk to you again soon. Subscribe.